This is an electric Stark Varg Alpha, and this is a Chinese-made Kove MX 450, and you're about to watch the most controversial dirt bike comparison possible in the world today. For the moment, legacy brand four-strokes rule the motocross world, and yes, there are quite a few of us two-stroke fans out there keeping that scene alive as well. But there does seem like there might be a whiff of change in the air. Dirt bike racing as a sport has experienced its fair share of seismic changes in its near 100-year history. Whether it was going from scrambling to motocross, twin shocks to single shocks, or four strokes to two strokes to back again, revolutions and evolutions are all parts of the game. And we might be on the cusp of witnessing yet another massive change in the sport. And we're here today to work out which direction we might be heading in. Is the future electric? Is it Chinese? Or are we being absolutely crazy in considering anything other than the norm that we already know? We're at the track today, let's find out. But whatever happens, please don't shoot the messenger. So like I said, we are doing one of the most divisive dirt bike tests possible with two of the most controversial dirt bikes on the market today. Here we have the electric Stark Varg Alpha MX 1.2, an 80 horsepower animal that we have tested on the channel before, and we know it to be a high quality and formidable machine. But for many riders, the electric bike just misses that magic X factor that gets so many people hooked on the sport. And over here we have the Kove MX 450, which was built in China. And none of the components are from brands that you will have heard of. They're all Chinese-made products. We've done extensive tests with this bike, and we found it to be a surprisingly capable and seriously underrated machine. It's also the cheapest 450 in the class. But maybe it's not quite cheap enough for many riders to overlook the negative feelings they might have against Chinese-made machines. There's still some serious doubts about reliability, longevity, and access to spares and parts. But there's no doubting that this machine is the first serious contender to come out of China. In this video, we'll be testing to see which bike is more powerful, which one is easier to tame, and which one is more fun to ride. We'll compare the differences in quality and technology. We'll talk about which one we'd prefer to own, and of course we'll find out which bike is fastest around the track. We'll go through all the pros and cons of each bike, and we'll find out which machine is best suited to a real-life weekend warrior, because in the hot seat today will be our trusty test pilot, Sean Smith. So Sean will be doing the testing today. I'll be on the cameras on track to make sure we get plenty of footage. And Dad, Phil, he'll be out there on the drone and on the stopwatch as well. So that's our team today. Let's have a little chat with Sean and see what he's feeling before the test. Sean, how do you feel today? You're about to ride two of the most controversial machines in the dirt bike world. What's going through your head?
This, I've ridden quite a lot, so quite enjoying it. That, yeah,
So I'll stop you there.
Go on.
I know you've ridden this before, and like you said, you spent a lot of time on the Kove.
Yeah.
I want you to go into this test open-minded.
Right.
I want you to put your kind of your kind of feelings about electric to the back of your head and just ride it as a motocross bike today.
It's still difficult though.
I know
because riding motorbikes, motocross, whatever it is, for me is about engine, gears, clutch.
Yeah.
Do you know, all of that. That's what my passion is. Do you know what I mean? And that is none of that. Yeah, I'm not biased against it. I just
ride it.
Just for me, it's not what I enjoy about motorcycles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just review it as a race weapon.
Right.
That's how we'll go into this.
Okay.
Which we're going to get some funny looks today, I think. Which one do you think is going to turn more heads?
Kove. Yeah.
So first things first, before we got the stopwatch out, Sean had to get comfortable on board both machines, which took a little bit longer on the Stark. That bike was fitted with the handbrake instead of the foot brake, and Sean had to work out what power mode that he liked the most and what he thought would be most effective out there on track today. But in the end, he seemed to be getting to grips with the electric machine. Meanwhile, on the Kove MX 450, it did not take long for Sean to get up to speed. He's put plenty of laps on board this bike recently, so he was feeling pretty comfortable pretty quickly. Okay, so Sean's comfortable on the start now, right?
Ish. Had to adjust the handbrake. Yeah, because I control the bike a lot with the brake, and it's got a handbrake, so it's awkward.
So we're ready for the hot laps. The bike's got plenty of battery in it. What power mode are you going to go in? So just tell us that and explain why you're using that mode.
So it's in 50 at the minute, like 50 horsepower, and I'm just going to leave it in that. It didn't feel too bad out there, to be fair. So yeah, I'm not gonna adjust anything. I don't know what regen it's got. I don't know what engine braking it's got. That's all too techie for me. Do you know what I mean? I'll just ride it.
So it's very similar horsepower-wise to the Kove today. So it's a fair test. Obviously, this is the Alpha. It can go up to 80 horsepower, but
nah, not for me.
No, we don't need that.
No.
On a track like this, absolutely not needed. But we do have to say that, right? People will always say,
yeah.
like, "Oh, you're not using."
You cannot ride 80 horsepower on a motocross track. It's impossible. Well, you can, but you're gonna hurt yourself. And even if it did have 80 horsepower, you won't be able to use the full potential. So it's pointless. Yeah, absolutely pointless. Good in a straight line, but that's about it.
So you think this is kind of optimal for you today?
Yeah. It's in, like I say, 50 horsepower. That'll do. That'll be fine.
One of the things that I personally don't like on this Stark is the seat here. Luckily for us, we've got our friends over at Seat Concepts. They do a seat for the Stark Varg, and they've got seats for loads of different bikes, whether it's your motocross bike, your enduro bike, or even your adventure bike. They do seats in different shapes, colours and sizes. They're all handmade in the USA. Check them out. I left a link in the description down below, and if you use our code 999laser, you can get 15% off as well. So be sure to check out our friends Seat Concepts if you're in the market for a new seat. Here we go then. Up first is the Stark Varg Alpha 1.2. Let's see what the electric bike is made of. There we go then, the clock is on. Oh, the back end stepping out there. The Stark Varg showing that it packs a punch. Can he make the inside line here after the rollers? No, he can't. He opts for the outside line, cuts down on the gas, or on the throttle, we should say. Here he comes on the power up towards the big triple here at Moto 101. It's been a solid lap for Sean so far. It's looked pretty clean, pretty fast, but how will it compare to the 450? That roost spray up from the rear tyre of the Varg. There's only a handful of corners left in the lap now. Oh, that was nice from Sean through there. Really got on the power nicely there. Through the final corner then, on the gas and up over the finish jump. That is a lap in the books on board the Stark Varg.
The bike is really, really good, but it's disappointing because it's got handbrake for me. I control the bike a lot with the back brake. That just seems to give me lots of arm pump. For me, that's a no-no. But take that aside, forget about that. The bike itself is, yeah, I can see why they're popular. It does everything it says on the box, basically. There's no area where I felt it was there was a disadvantage. So, all in all, very good. Apart from that seat, that felt like I was getting pegged all the way around, but there you go.
So just have a quick walk around the Stark, just to see its build quality, and then move on to the Kove. We all know these are there was a lot of thought went into the design of these and the components and the the material that they used as well. So it's very high-end class. This is, like I've described it before, it's like looking at a Bugatti. Do you know what I mean? It is, everything about it is top notch. Obviously Brembo brakes, even to where the I call them chain tuggers, but these are the adjusters. They're by far the best ones that you see on the market, because there's a little Allen key in here, and it just adjusts it. It's so refined, you know what I mean, for your marks and everything like that. Build quality is so good, coming from what you buy as a standard bike. Foot pegs, real good quality, solid. It is a work of art. I mean, I've said before, this is actually gold plated. Just so much has gone into it. It is such a nice bike, and the tech on it as well. You can reduce the engine braking, you can have more power, you can have more regen. You can set this for various different maps and power and how you want to set the bike up, and then you can interchange it with the buttons there. So you could have it at full power to get off the gate, and then switch the button and reduce it to whatever mode you've set that's you're comfortable with. But then we move on to the Kove, which is like the other end. Nothing techie about that at all. Doesn't even have a map switch. I've done about 20 hours on this thing now, and I can honestly say I've not had one bolt, one spoke. I've had nothing come loose. I wouldn't say one of the best bikes that I've had, but it's definitely surprised me. And the wheels as well. The wheels are just, they just seem to be so strong and true. I've had a lot of bikes from new where you'd spin the wheels and I'd have to true them up because they're not running true. But these things, run really true. To me, it's it's holding out good. But I have had the suspension done because there was a fault with the rear shock. Basically, the bladder that sits in the shock, you'd have to come around this side, but it's very much like a shower. But the bladder that sat in there, basically it went out of shape, so it formed the shape of the body, which then it didn't allow the oil to move and the gas, and it all got mixed up, and that was the issue. But that's been sorted since I've had that done. The bike's pretty much there. So no tech, lots of tech. So we'll see how we get on.
So we've seen what the electric bike can do. Now it's the turn of the Chinese machine. Sean's having a quick sight lap here before he lays down the hammer for his hot laps on board the Kove MX 450. The clock is on now. He's going to rail around the outside of this two-stroke here. Oh, that was pretty sick, to be fair. And after the silence of the Varg, this is the coolest sounding four-stroke in the world right now. Up into the rollers, look at that back end stepping out. He's heavy on the brakes. He does make the inside line here this time. What do you think, guys? How is this lap comparing to the Stark? getting some great traction out there on board the Kove. And he's looking comfortable, he's looking aggressive. Just 3 turns left in the lap now. Final corner on the gas and up towards the finish line jump. That's it then. The Kove MX 450 has shown us what it's made of.
What can I say? It is really good. It's surprisingly good. I'm not sure if I'll be faster on this. I did initially think I'd be faster on this than the Stark, but I don't know. This feels like you're going fast because it makes a lot of noise. I mean, they don't like you to say that, but it is the lower end of the market of a motocross bike. But it ticks all the boxes. It does everything you want it to, and it's quite enjoyable to ride, and it turns lovely. Now we've had the suspension done by my friend Stewie Holland. It's improved it no end. So we'll see what happens with the lap times.
This video has been sponsored by our friends at 24MX. You can see that Kong and the Black Panther here are sitting on ProWorks paddock stands. We love these stands, we take them all over the place, and you can grab them on the 24MX store. They've also got a great deal at the moment for the ProWorks tyre inflator. I've left more information about that in the description down below. But as always, a huge thank you goes to 24MX for supporting what we do. They are the go-to place for all your motocross hard parts, accessories, and so much more. Right, so the hot laps have been completed, but before we reveal the times, let's just have a little chat about the bikes. Now, if we look at the categories that you'd rank the bikes in, I think the Stark wins a lot of them. Power, build quality, components, how easy it is to work on, how nice it is to work on. What else was there?
Get parts for it.
You can get parts for it. It wins all of those categories. But that is reflected in the price, obviously. This is the cheapest 450 money can buy in the UK at the moment, for sure. How much is a Stark? It's a lot more expensive. I'll put it on screen how much one of these is in the UK at the moment.
Is it the cheapest though? Because we had quite a few comments saying that you know what I mean. There are some
without discounts and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Off the shelf, £6,500 for that.
Yeah.
And north of 10 for this. And the bike that we've been using today is the Stark Varg Alpha MX 1.2. So it's like the latest model as well. So this wins a lot of categories. We can be sure of that.
Yeah.
But which one did you enjoy riding more and why?
The Kove. Because it's why I ride motocross. You know what I mean? It's got gears and engine, clutch. No rider aids, so it's all about it's all about the rider, isn't it? Control, throttle control, brake control. You know, there's everything. There's no traction control. There's nothing on this thing. It's all rider.
It's all there.
Yep.
And there.
Yeah. It's all rider input.
And after getting off of the Stark, it is the coolest sounding four-stroke in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But they are so different in the way they ride, the geometry of the frame, the ergonomics, and all the rest of it. It was alien. I think I jumped on this because that's got the handbrake, and then I went into a corner and pulled the clutch in. And I've been riding this for quite a while. And
We said at the start of the video, this is one of the most controversial and divisive tests that we could possibly do. Obviously, electric bikes don't have their haters. The Chinese machines have their haters. Which one grabs more? Which one, from your experience today, which one grabs more attention? And which one grabs more like negative attention, do you think?
I think the Kove for both, really.
I think the Kove, they're less common, right? There's 4 or 5 of these on the track today.
Yeah, what you see with the comments we've done with this before, I think there's a lot more haters in this than there are. This is a great bike. It'll have its own market. That will find its own market.
We found this gets more attention when we're at the track because it's people that haven't seen them. But I would say this gets more visceral hate at the track. Like I spoke to some guys today and they was like, no, don't, never going to touch one. Whereas I was looking at that thinking, I'd have a go.
Yeah.
I think it's just too different for some people,
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. It's just not for me. It isn't why I race, you know, and ride motocross bikes.
right, so my next question is both to you and to the audience. If someone had a gun to your head and they said, pick one of these, which one are you picking? I want you guys to comment below, and I want you to answer now.
To do what?
If you could only ride one and you had to pick what is the future of motocross, electric or Chinese, which one are you going to choose?
Yeah, the Kove. Because
The
you've got to
Kove.
put, for the simple fact you've got to put fuel in it, and you've not got to charge it, and you can ride as much as you like. You know, if you take away the noise thing that everybody bangs on about, but do you know what I mean? You can ride forever, can't you? Do you know what I mean? You could just do whatever and be free.
What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I'm sure it will be a nice civilized conversation. Right, let's get to the business. Let's decide our winner today. The winner of our test, I'm going to do this slightly differently. So you did 3 hot laps on each bike, and I'm going to start with your slowest time on each and then get to your fastest.
Yeah.
So on the start, your slowest hot lap was a 1:55.9.
That's slow. That is slow.
Your slowest hot lap on the Kove, a 1:56.62.
Slower.
So this is winning at the moment. Your next fastest lap on the Stark, a 1:54.12.
Right.
Your second fastest on the Kove, a 1:52.38. And then we come to your fastest time on the Stark, a 1:52.53. So not quite as fast as the Kove there.
Yeah.
And then your fastest time on the Kove, a 1:50.91.
Really.
So 2 seconds quicker on the Chinese bike than the electric today. Surprising result for you?
I knew it'd be close. When I first started riding that with that handbrake, it's you can't apply as much pressure with a handbrake as you can with your foot. And like I said, you know, I mean, I ride. I'm 70% back brake, 30% front. That's how I ride. So I control the bike a lot with the back brake, and you just cannot do it. You just can't pull it enough.
I think people will have this argument, right? So you didn't use the full power of this today.
No, and there was
But
no engine braking either, so there's no regen on it.
Would bumping up the power on this have helped you out there, or is it going to make things worse because you can't stop?
Because I couldn't stop. So making it faster ain't going to make no difference. I still couldn't stop, and it's not because of the brakes or anything like that. It's literally you can't squeeze something as hard. There's not as much force, you know, where you squeeze something as you can where you're pushing something with your foot applying a brake. It's just not. So yeah, I think that's what let it down.
To conclude, to summarise, the Stark is an awesome machine. What do you call it? A work of art.
It is. I mean, it is, isn't it? I mean, look at it. You know, the engineering that's
yeah,
gone
the
into
engineering
it
is beautiful.
it is a beautiful looking bike, you know, and the attention to detail that they've you know done when they've designed it is like second to none. And you know, I'll say it again, it's like a Bugatti, you know, of the motocross world. Do you know what I mean?
You've gone faster today on the Chinese Kove.
I have indeed. Yeah.
Well, there we go. The Kove wins our test today. But does that mean that the future of motocross is Chinese? I don't think so. I think the status quo as we know it right now is going to stick around for a long while yet. But I do think that Chinese bikes and electric bikes for that matter are going to become increasingly more viable options for both hobby riders and serious racers alike. But we can rest easy knowing that the two strokes that we love are going to be sticking around for the moment anyway. I think we'll all be able to sleep better at night knowing that. As always guys, my name's Max, you've been watching 999 Laser. Until next time, we'll see you at the track.